It's where you go to bike, hike, and stroll miles of pathways over more than 7,000 acres of parkland. A place to go explore rivers and fish their bountiful waters. Natural places to go marvel at magnificent wildlife while you play outdoors and go wander charming communities. Find all this and more at Destination Downriver. Give it a go.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of the Destination Downriver podcast presented by our amazing friends at Market Insights. And we're coming to you live, well, today it's live. It's probably not live when you're listening to us, but we are coming to you from Downriver, which is Michigan's southeast Gulf Coast. And we're so excited because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, the amazing opportunity for phenomenal golf throughout the Downriver region. Today's podcast, again, as I mentioned, is presented by our good friends at Market Insights, but it's also sponsored by Allegra in Wyandot. And with the generous support of our friends at Allegra Marketing, Print, and Design in Wyandot, you definitely want to go there and see Greg for strategic marketing and print communication with measurable results. Let Allegra assist you with your print, mail, design, and signs. Greg and his team are located at 3557 Fort Street. That, again, is in the beautiful city of Wyandot, and you can call them at 734-288-8994 and tell them that Destination Downriver and, of course, your host, Ron Hinrichs, brought you there. So my name is Ron, as I mentioned, and I wear many hats in the community, but one of those is the host of the Destination Downriver podcast. I'm also the president of the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber, which is Downriver and Southern Wayne County's premier business membership organization. So I'm so excited today because I actually have a co-host, my good friend and one of the amazing leaders in our community who happened to hire me about 5 years ago. So you can blame Kathy Kane, who happens to be, again, today's co-host. And Kathy, you wear a lot of hats, way more hats than I do.
That's why I wear my
in the
hat.
community. That's why that's why you wore your golf hat, because you have so many hats, and one of them today is your golf hat. As a avid golfer and somebody who has a lot of experience golfing at many of the Downriver golf courses and country clubs throughout the region. And we have a lot of great guests with us today who are going to be talking about some of those amazing opportunities to experience Michigan's southeast Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast. There we go. So, Kathy, thanks for co-hosting today. It's good to see you.
Happy to be here. You know, I at least got the outfit. I'm not saying that I'm an avid golfer, but I'm not a great golfer.
So you can tell I'm definitely a golfer, right? Because this is what I wear on the golf course, and right, and that's what Kathy wears on the golf course. So you can tell who's the golfer on this podcast and who's the expert. Kathy, can you just take a moment to introduce yourself? And we know that you are the brand new executive director of the Trenton Education Foundation. So huge round of applause for Kathy Kane. Yep, congratulations. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, besides that, I'm still working with my company, Market Insights, and used to be the co-editor at the Trenton Trib. So we retired in December for that business, and so we're just taking off in other directions, So, and again, like to golf, but Jim Perry was actually set to be on today, who's an actual golf pro.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I'm like the last person in my league for the Women's Golf League. But the ladies love me because they make a lot of money on me at the banquet. So, but I do enjoy it, and I'm here for the social game. So,
well, I've been waiting for this day for a long time to be able to say I have a co-host, and that is Kathy Kane. So I'm really excited. Thanks, Kathy, for being brave enough to sit on camera with me and do this podcast today. But I think this is a great one, and you definitely chose the right podcast to be with us today. So I have this amazing opening that I'm going to go ahead and read to everyone, because it's all about Downriver as Southeast Michigan's Gulf Coast, and it's so exciting. So listen to this. You're going to love it. With more than 650 public golf courses in Michigan, our state is truly a golf mecca. What's even more inviting is that if you live in the southeast corner of Michigan, which we happen to live there in Downriver, Driving miles upon miles to experience new and interesting golf courses isn't required since you live near our state's southeast Gulf Coast. The Downriver region covers a 190 square mile area. Within that area, we have a ton of the state's most accessible, playable, and welcoming golf courses. And as I mentioned, we're going to be talking to many of those golf pros today, representing several of those courses. And with thanks to that proximity, our temperate weather and long summer days, there's plenty of time to get in a few extra rounds on several of these courses all in one day. So let's tee off Destination Downriver's podcast episode on Michigan's one and only southeast Gulf Coast. How does that sound, Kathy?
Sounds great. Let's do it, Ron.
Let's do it. So I'm going to begin by introducing our amazing panel here. And I just want to say, before I introduce each individual, our panel and our esteemed guest host, Kathy Kane, are all terrific ambassadors for the entire Downriver area and for this much beloved and often, dare I say it, for this frustrating sport of golf. And, you know, it might be frustrating for me, but probably not so much for you guys. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say today, and maybe you'll teach me a few things about this amazing sport that we love so much in the Downriver community, and that is golf. So I'm going to begin with Jan Newboles, who, Jan, you are the Park Support Specialist at Huron Clinton Metoparks, and you have been with the Metoparks for almost 15 years, all of them at Lake Erie Metropark, which happens to be my favorite of them all.
Mine too.
So you told me once that I had good taste when we were off when we were off air, so I'd love to hear it when we're on air. Thank you. And so do you.
Thank you.
So your current position is Park Operations Supervisor, and you've been actively involved in overseeing outings and leagues at Lake Erie Metropark Golf Course for all of those 15 years. You've been golfing for over 30 years.
Started very young.
That's right. When you were maybe 2?
Very good. Oh, your brownie points are good.
I tell you, I have good taste. Yeah, right. So now you wrote here that you're not very good, but you love the game. That can't be true. For golfing over 30 years.
I do love the game.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's great to have you, Jan. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we also have, sitting next to our co-host, Kathy, is JP Purnell. Your official name is Jason, but everybody knows you as JP.
Everyone calls me JP.
Everyone calls you JP. So, JP, you're a chamber member. You're, a couple of years now since you've opened up X Golf in Woodhaven. You have been a member of the chamber, and it says that. Well, actually, you know what? It says you've opened X Golf in Woodhaven last March.
I did.
But it seems like you guys are such an established part of the community. It seems like you've been there longer, but it was last March.
It was. We started in 2020, and then obviously building a business through the pandemic. There were a couple of delays, but we got open and love serving the community.
That's and we love having you, JP.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did a networking event there with the chamber.
Yes.
Guess a few months ago. It's probably last fall, and that was so much fun. The golf simulators and there was even a simulator for kids if you want to bring your kids. I think there was like a putt-putt golf option, which was pretty exciting. So you are an avid golfer, 3-year golf league commissioner, and a member of X Golf America, X League, and tournament committee. You're the proud father of 3 boys who are all young golfers. Do I have that all correct?
You do, absolutely.
Excellent. It's good to have you, JP.
Thank
Welcome
you. Good to be
the
here.
podcast. So next we have Alec Grant, with the City of Taylor. And Alec, you are the Assistant Director of Golf at Lakes of Taylor.
Correct.
Is it golf club?
Lakes of Taylor Golf Club in Taylor Meadows.
So you grew up downriver. You live in Trenton with your wife and 2 sons. You're a PGA professional and a graduate of Ferris State University's Professional Golf Management Program. Sounds pretty fancy.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm very proud of the PGA certification, and I can say nothing but good things about Ferris State's program, and loved my time up there, and loved the internship program. It gives you a lot of good experience and education to become a golf professional.
How do you become a PGA professional?
Well, you can do the university route, so you can go to school, and basically it's getting your bachelor's degree while getting your certification from the PGA.
Okay.
But that's not the only route. You can just strictly go to getting certified as a PGA golf professional. There's a lot of seminars involved with that, and then a playing ability test where you play 36 holes and consecutively and have to shoot a target score for the day. And it's quite the test when you know you're not trying to compete, you're just playing against a number all day long. So
That's amazing. So that's the first time I've heard that somebody tell me that you have to play a game to get a certification, professional certification. And well, in this case, a lot of people are probably really insulted that I just said it that way, right? Because golf is, very serious, profession. Am I
yes,
wrong?
but not to go down the rabbit hole. I don't think it's something that really should be required for a PGA member. I mean, it's obviously a feather in your cap to be a really good player, but I've also worked with a number of great people who weren't as good a golfer that will really struggle to pass that test. I always think back to a gentleman I worked with down in Florida who had a birth defect and could only golf with one arm. So it became a pretty famous story that he wasn't able to get his PGA certification. I know I couldn't shoot anything less than 150 if I was playing with one arm for 18 holes of golf, and ultimately he did get his PGA certification, so hats off to them. But
that's amazing, Alec. And it's funny because that reminds me, about a week ago I saw on the news there was a story about a young lady who had hit a home run with one arm. She was a one arm, or she only had one arm rather. And did anybody else see that? Jan, you're shaking her hand. It was pretty amazing.
Awesome.
But Alec, it's great to have you on the podcast today. And we could probably go down a rabbit hole, as you mentioned, in that discussion. So great to have you, Alec. Next we have Mike Ketler, who I've had the pleasure to work with on a few different things over the years. So Mike, it's great to have you. And Mike, you are the director of golf at Riverview Highlands, who is definitely one of our premier golf courses downriver. And like Alec, you're a lifelong Downriver resident who grew up in Trenton. Wow, seeing a theme here. Our golf pros, and Kathy from Trenton. So you played golf at Riverview Highlands during, in high school on the varsity team.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's great. And you and your wife reside in Plymouth. So you decided to leave us, but you'll be back one day.
Well, I'm here every day.
You're here every day.
My wife works in Ann Arbor, so that was kind of middle for us.
yeah, there you go.
So you're in Plymouth Township currently. You have 2 young daughters, and you have been on staff at Riverview Highlands Golf Course for over 24 years, starting as the cart attendant to the operations manager, and for the past 7 years, you've been serving as director of golf.
Correct.
That's quite a career.
Yeah. I left for a full-time job after college, but couldn't leave. So I remember Alec as a kid playing golf at Riverview.
He was the one. They had to watch out for me back in those days.
Whenever I heard Grant was on the course, we had to go out there. But like Alec went through the college route, I went through the PGA route. So I went down to Florida and got certified.
Wow. So they sent the troublemaker to Lakes of Taylor, huh?
Yeah.
So Mike, you're a graduate of Eastern Michigan, and you were elected as a Class A member of the the Pro Golf Association of America in 2017. That sounds pretty impressive. Can you tell us about that?
Well, like Alec was touching on, there's 2 routes. He went college route. I had a marketing degree, so I just had a business degree, half my adult life. So I decided if I was going to stay in the golf business to go get certified. So I went through the PGA, and I had to do the players test. And, I got to do it in 2.5 years because I had so much experience. Most people can't do it in less than 3. So I kind of expedited it.
Good for you, Mike.
Got certified, so yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago, you put on a phenomenal golf outing.
Thank
the
you.
Riverview Highlands annual golf outing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our invitational is more of a corporate style event. We work with the landfill, land preserve, and we just host. It's one of those pay money, and it's all you can eat and drink on the golf course. And we raise a lot of money that supports all of our capital improvements we've been doing at the course the last couple of years.
Very cool. And I was there. I was with Jim Edelman from Under the Radar, Michigan. And we experienced that all you can drink and all that, the barbecue and all those great things.
Yeah, we had some good food catered by Secret Recipes, so it was a nice day.
It's always funny when on the golf course when you go to a tournament like that and it's it's all you can drink, and somebody says, "Hey, let me buy you a round," and it's like, okay, I wasn't
That means
born
you're
yesterday.
tipping. That means you're tipping the cart girl.
That's basically right. So it's great to have you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks
It's good
for
to be
being
here.
here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive right into this panel discussion. I think we have a lot of exciting things to talk about as we focus on Michigan's southeast Gulf Coast. I got it right that time. So Kathy, I'm going to go ahead and let you start, kind of kick things off as our co-host. If you'd like to, kick us off into an awesome
It'd be great if I would know
discussion.
these things before, but this is great. Okay, so let's talk first to Jan about these two fine Metropark courses that we're so fortunate to have in the Downriver area. Lake Erie course is located on the grounds of Lake Erie Metropark and is a par 72 course. Oh, I didn't realize that. That's surrounded by natural wetlands, bunkered fairways, 20 acres of ponds, all in a gently rolling course package that's an ideal value and challenge for golfers of all abilities. Then there's a long, narrow, tree-lined fairway at Willow Park Metro, just east of 275 on Huron River Drive, right? This one has the reputation for testing skills with water. I think that's the one I lost about 10. On water on 9 of its 18 holes, and they're sharp dog legs. Can you tell me what a dog leg is? Because
When you
go
straight and then dog legs
goes
yeah,
really.
there you
Oh,
go.
yeah, I was on there,
There
but I
you
didn't
go.
know there was a name for it. Okay, so that makes that par 71 course a memorable experience for sure. So tell us why both fine courses, Jan, are excellent destinations for daycation golfers.
I think you just said it all. Didn't you?
No,
What
we want to hear more. We want to hear more.
First of all, thanks for having me. Both of our courses are beautiful. They are, back to nature, beautiful courses. Best part is they're both very accessible from the highway. 275, 75 for Lake Erie, 275 for Willow. We are very fair priced. It's not going to break the bank to golf either one of our courses. And if you're real brave, you can play both in the same day. Play Lake Erie in the morning, and we're close enough to play Willow in the afternoon. We have at Lake Erie, I know you have golfed there, and I'm getting JP to
I will
golf
be
there.
there. I will be golfing at Lake Erie.
That was our pre-discussion.
Very
There you go.
He's coming to see us. It's not unusual to tee off on 10 and have a mama deer and her babies on the green waiting for you when you get there, or on 12 to have a bald eagle fly over and land in the nest that we've had there for years. It's just a beautiful, beautiful course. I was telling JP earlier that the best part is, because he's never been there, I said, we do a lot of outings and a lot of leagues, but and an outing, to have a person that has never golfed at Lake Erie come in at the turn and say, oh my God, this is like a hidden treasure. We didn't even know it was here, and we can't wait to come back. I mean, so those words are like music to your ears, And Willow's golf course is, narrow and beautiful, and they have an awesome practice facility there with a chipping and putting and driving range. So that's to brush up on your game, it's a great facility to do that. We do have, like I said, a lot of leagues and a lot of outings at Lake Erie, but we are very fortunate that we have at both facilities great staffs, and I love what I do. I'm very fortunate. I love what I do. So
You could tell, definitely,
I
for
do.
sure. Now, what course would you say would be more like for beginner level? Or is it not
Well,
beginner level
I mean,
at all there?
I think Lake Erie's a little bit wider.
Okay.
Willow is a little bit tighter.
yeah.
But they're either
both
one.
challenging.
They're both challenging.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of water on both courses, a lot of sand on both courses. But it is, both of them are are very pretty courses.
And even if you can't golf like
And
me,
even if you
it's
can't,
beautiful,
like,
right?
And like I said to them earlier, I'm like, before I worked for the Metoparks, I golfed both courses all the time. Like I golfed a lot. Since I work for them, I don't have time to golf. It's like, well, when did you golf last? Last summer?
Better put it on your calendar.
I know. So.
And everyone out there too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Ron, did you want to take the next one?
Yeah,
All right.
Jan, that's great. And I love the Metro Park golf courses. JP, I love the Metro Park golf courses. So we're going to see you soon.
Yes, and I have played Willow. I love that course. Yes.
So we're going to find out what other golf courses you haven't golfed at and pick on you more.
Sure.
So thanks, Jan. We appreciate that, and we'll get back to you here in a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and focus on Taylor now, because Taylor is home to some beautiful courses, as Alec will tell us here in a moment. And Kathy, I gave you that first question because looking at our notes here, it's like our introduction. The introduction to our question is answering the question. So I thought I'll let Kathy be the one that's embarrassed rather than me, right? So I'm going to try to introduce this question to Alec about the Taylor golf courses without answering the questions for you. But Taylor is home to two outstanding Arthur Hills design courses, who was one of the world's top golf architects. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of people probably think like, okay, what does that mean? Like, do you know much about Arthur Hills and what an Arthur Hills design course looks like, and what would it mean to a professional golfer?
Arthur Hills, yeah, so he's got his stamp on courses all over the country, and his golf courses are, like Lakes of Taylor is very much stadium style, big fairways, big greens, and a lot of like rolling terrain. And we're excited to say that we've kind of gone back to that original design, like changing up some of the mowing patterns. So it's a lot of like little collection areas, and his designs kind of encourage a lot of different shot making and a lot of creativity and twists and turns and undulation on the golf courses. But we're very fortunate to have two of them in the city of Taylor, and they're both wonderful golf courses. And our team, we partner with Brightview Management Company, and they maintain both golf courses, and they both do a very good job keeping up to date and looking good. So
it's amazing to think how critical the mowing patterns and things like that are to the keeping the golf course beautiful and a destination where golfers want to visit and experience a great day of golf. And just it's interesting to think about the architecture and the design work and everything that goes into making a golf course that one unique experience for golfers. And that's probably why you have the PGA certification, and you're studied many years in golfing to make those kinds of things happen. But both Lakes of Taylor and Taylor Meadows are recognized in many publications for being a best of the best and affectionately referred to as works of art. So going into what we just talked about. Lakes of Taylor has a beautiful layout that's spread out over 300 acres of forest area and wetlands. It's gorgeous. I've been there several times and I love it there. It's known as a player-friendly course with large fairways and greens, but its share of hazards and undulation on the putting surfaces. So that's pretty unique to. I think Lakes of Taylor is probably considered one of the most challenging courses in our area, and I know a lot of organizations and pros that go there, and I talk to on frequently, will say it's a beautiful course and it's a perfect place for us to do our outing, because when people come there, they love the atmosphere, they love the beautiful design of the course, but they feel like it's a challenge. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the Lakes of Taylor is really a good championship golf course. We host a lot of. We had the high school regional this year, and it was a great test for those boys. And I mean, the golf course can tip out at about 7,100 yards, and just to give the public an idea, like we don't put our back tees in just because we want to discourage people from going back there.
Right.
And I've got no pride. I don't mind saying that. A lot of times the people I'm golfing with, I play the white tees, and it's still a good challenge from there.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's it's very natural, the design. It just kind of fits the property really well. It's on 300, like you said, 300 plus acres, 324. And it's unique to the area. You don't really see golf courses these days that are like, they're just built on a huge piece of property. Our Taylor Meadows course, on the other hand, is on 90 acres. But it was really nice to have two very unique different golf courses. And again, Arthur Hills did a great job designing them, and it's interesting. They have, Arthur Hills is since passed, but his team of architects now basically follow what he's always done and have a great, Steve Forrest is the gentleman we're working with on doing our renovations. He's been his right-hand man for like over 25 years, and it's kind of like an extension of Arthur Hill's brain, basically. And just to hear those guys talk about architecture, it's absolutely fascinating.
And one of the things that like totally impresses me when I go to Lakes of Taylor is the beautiful clubhouse that's there. It's a large clubhouse, I think 2 stories?
Correct, yeah.
And you have a great restaurant. I go there for business meetings all the time. And can you tell us a little bit about the practice facilities, the restaurant, and the clubhouse, and what kind of opportunities are there for not just golfers, but even if you want to go there for lunch or dinner, that's available, correct?
Yeah, and you've got fantastic views upstairs. It's basically absolutely 270 degrees that you can sit outside and look out on the 18th hole, look out on the 9th hole there, and 10th tee, first tee. So it's just a good panorama view. A lot of people don't realize too that down on the main level we have a location called the Terrace that's got a real nice water feature. It gives us a lot of flexibility to host really nice size events upstairs, have big golf outings. And then the practice facility, we've got a great driving range, and I don't want to say this too loudly, but there's a little area off to the left side of the ninth hole that's a little short game area. You can hit up to 80-yard shots, but that's my secret getaway to work on my game. And
so we'll make sure when we air this podcast, we'll turn that little spot, we'll turn the volume up. So we'll make sure everybody just heard the secret. Alex's secret. Alex and Taylor.
So there'll be 100 people down there next week. Well, I got to find a new spot. Right. So thank you.
So sorry about that. But that's what we do. We promote, and we'll make sure we promote your secret spot. So thanks, Alec. I really, truly mean it. Lakes of Taylor is such a beautiful course, and I'm not as familiar with Taylor Meadows, but I do know a lot of people that golf there as well, and it's a phenomenal golf club as well.
We have our city championship coming up this weekend, and if you ask most of the players, it's interesting. They think that Taylor Meadows on that day is the tougher test of golf, which
interesting.
I haven't been able to play in the city championship for obvious reasons. But they get those greens going really quick out there, and a lot of guys, you see the scoring average is actually higher at Taylor Meadows, which is quite surprising. It's just a much tighter layout. It's definitely shorter, but the green, smaller greens that can get rolling pretty quick, and ends up being a pretty good test of golf. And everyone thinks, okay, Lakes of Taylor is a tougher one, but the scoring average would say otherwise.
Yeah, interesting. That's I haven't heard that, so I'm glad you brought that up on the podcast. That's pretty interesting. Thanks, Alec. So, Kathy, I'll let you. I'm going to let you take on this question with Mike, because I think it's really awkward when sitting right next to Mike. And it's like, hi, Mike. So I'm going to let Kathy on the other side of the room address Mike. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Very good. Mike is with Riverview Highlands, which has been referred by some golf writers as 27 holes of golf at its finest. The courses are challenging, yet suitable for all ability levels by most descriptions. This one was also designed by yet another well-known architect, Jerry Matthews. So, do you know anything more about Jerry Matthews?
He's done a lot of work in the area.
Okay.
He also did our practice facility.
Oh, very good.
In 2000 as well. So.
Okay, great. So you also feature bent grass tee areas. Tell me about that. What is?
It's just the kind of grass. There's different
types of grass.
Depending
Okay.
on where you are in the country. Yep.
All right, and challenging par threes. And it features 100-yard putting, a driving range, and a course with mildly rolling terrain, mature trees, plentiful water hazards, and I know that for a fact, and just strategic bunkering that can make for an interesting golf experience. And I know I grew up in Riverview. Those geese are everywhere too. It seems like I don't know what you do to get them away, but
so you have mature trees and immature geese.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our members chase them away with golf carts now.
Oh, is that what they do now? Okay, so what else should we know about playing the Riverview Highlands?
Well, there's a couple things. I know, the last 4 years we've been very, very busy over there doing upgrades to the course. Part of the outing we talked about earlier was part of that. We've redone some cart path work. We redesigned the bunkers in-house. We upgraded our irrigation system, building. So the landscaping around. We've done a lot of work in the last couple of years, and it's brought back a lot of the players. So if you haven't played Riverview in a while, the greens we've been told are the best in the area right now. Mm-hmm. No offense to
did you hear that, Alec? Yeah.
But
hey, Jan, Riverview Highlands has the best greens.
Taylor has more undulation than we do. We're a little more flat than they are, but no, we have a new superintendent from a couple years ago we hired, and he's done a phenomenal job over there, and we've just been busy, and we've even opened an indoor practice facility 3 years ago, right before the pandemic, and that's been successful. We've also been able to hire someone to give lessons. So we have 2 people. We have an indoor. It's located in the loft of the golf course above the pro shop. So we're with pro golf closing last year in Southgate. We're now customizing golf clubs. So we've really become kind of a full service club that you would expect at a country club, but at daily public fee rate.
Excellent. And I hear, I don't know if this is for public knowledge, but the Sportsman's Den that operates on your facility, is that still up for sale?
I heard it is. They're a separate business from us, so I'm not really sure what's going on there.
If they want to get involved, that's what I understand.
There's
you can inquire about that, right?
Yeah, they're still open. They're
they are. That's okay. That was my other question.
They're still open, but we're a city-owned golf course, whereas that's a privately owned restaurant.
Gotcha. Okay, so Ron?
Yeah, that's interesting because I know for a long time there's been that partnership between a small business owner, a family, the Orlando family, and then the city operating it. Because a lot of people, then when they go there, they probably look at it and they assume it's all one facility, but it's actually 2 separate.
If you're a golfer, you call the restaurant the Highlands. If you're not a golfer, the golf course is the Sportsman's. But we try to work together on some. It's challenging, obviously, with schedule conflicts, and they have weddings. Yeah. But we have outings. We try to work with them to try to book. They have a banquet hall, so we try to work with them. So our golfers can go over there, and so we try to, it's a little challenge at times, but we try to work with them and make it work.
Yeah, and the one thing that's Riverview Highlands is very unique because you do work next to the Lamp Preserve.
Correct.
And there's that partnership, and it kind of, can you talk a little bit about that and how?
Our practice facility we opened in 2000 has, we talked about it has a 100-yard putting green. We have 2 different tiers of driving range. That's where our practice facility was built on. So it's it's a closed portion of the landfill.
Yeah.
And we have 3 practice holes. So our practice holes is just if you only have a half hour, 45 minutes of time, it's a par 4 and 2 par 3s. And we have a successful junior program we were discussing earlier that uses it, which really makes it. It's very attractive to a lot of people just for practicing. You hit a bucket of balls, go play 3 holes, and you don't have to take up a whole bunch of your time to play 9 or 18 holes.
Yeah, and it's pretty, it's interesting in the winter. I know a lot of people will go sledding down that hill.
Yep.
So they actually, from the preserve area on the top of the hill, do they slide down into the practice facility, or how does that work?
We close the range in the winter, obviously. We can't pick
pick
golf balls outside. So.
Right. Yeah.
But they have they slide down the hill towards Sibley Road.
Yeah.
Kind of going north off the facility, but it's sled at your own risk. We just put up signs and try
sledding at your own risk. Right.
Yeah, we're not up there. It's free, obviously. So if you get enough snow, go ahead and go up there.
Go ahead and try it.
It's a fun walk up that hill, let me tell you.
Yeah. So you guys just recently opened up a beautiful indoor practice facility.
Correct.
On the 2nd floor, I believe, of the clubhouse?
It's right above the clubhouse. Yep. We put in a putting green that has 6 cups. We have bought actual grass that most of the top universities in the country, actually Roy McElroy has the same putting green in his backyard that we have. So
interesting.
You can actually put a ball into a hole indoors, which you don't find very often at places.
Right.
You're usually just hitting into a screen. So we don't have a simulator like X Golf does, but we have nets that you can hit into. So we're a little cheaper. It's only $10 an hour to hit balls. So you get to practice all year round, and a lot of people before they go to Florida in the wintertime will come and get some swings in before heading down.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful facility.
Thanks. And if you haven't been there, we give private lessons in there, and we're fitting golf clubs, so it's personalized. We do have a screen in there for if you want to pay for that service to get fitted. We fit all major brands now, so a lot of people don't realize that.
Very cool. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I think this is a good time to jump over to X Golf and talk about the beautiful, phenomenal simulators that you guys have, because it really, a lot of people don't realize that we have X Golf in the Downriver region, and it truly is a great partnership, I think, between the golf courses, actually going out and experiencing a day of golf on the golf courses and at the clubs and and so forth, and then actually going indoors to a beautiful facility like yours, JP.
Well, thank you.
At X Golf and experiencing the simulators, which is it's really like real life golf. I've seen it. We did a networking event, as I mentioned earlier, with the chamber, and so I think I'll take this one. So, similar to me and Mike, Kathy's sitting right next to JP.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want to make it awkward. So JP at X Golf, we introduced you a few moments ago. JP is the owner of X Golf in Woodhaven, and it truly is our area's go-to golf simulator. The sophisticated engineering and convergence of laser light cameras and sensory technologies create an incredible training experience. The computing power and custom-built 3D technology graphics are helping golfers track everything from trajectory to impact zone power and ball velocity to help improve and teach a sport that many of us feel impossible to master. So you can write the check too, because I just did a awesome commercial for you.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. But tell us more about the technology, because it, as I mentioned a moment ago, it truly is amazing.
Absolutely. So obviously Mike and Alec can speak to this, and there's a lot of esoteric terminology like apex and, are you a negative degree when you're coming through with your irons, but we literally read 6,000 points of information in a fraction of a second. And then unlike other simulators, you get real continuous ball speed. So as you hit the ball, it actually takes off right from that point. So, I think X Golf in their state-of-the-art simulators, there's nothing like it on the market. And the big thing that stands out for us is short game, right? So you were saying not a lot of putting inside, not a lot of chipping inside. Golfers have missed that for years. And if you come play at our simulators, you'll see that putting feel, that chipping feel is very accurate. Even for high lofted wedges, you can hit shots up, you can skull it across the ground. It's going to read both. And so that's part of, I think what the big draw is. But the real reason that we created X Golf was to give the community that year-round excitement. We endorse outdoor golfing. We want all of our league players in the winter to go outside, shoot low scores, impress their friends at outings, and they can come, train and practice
or experience
with us.
the amazing greens, the best greens in the world.
Yeah,
That's right, the best greens in the world.
Yeah.
They can prepare.
You said that. That's good.
Yeah, so that was the big thing, making sure that when people go out into these outings or with their friends, that they're able to perform a little bit better. But we also understand there's an introductory side as well. So we wanted kids, new players, to be able to come in and practice comfortably without worrying about holding up a round or losing a ton of golf balls, things like that.
That's a really great point, JP, because a lot of times when when you're in a golf outing or something, you feel the pressure of the foursome behind you, right?
Yeah.
But when you're at X Golf, you don't have that. You can go at your own pace and truly enjoy and the golfing and practice your swing and things like that. But one thing I want to mention, and you may have already mentioned this, is that with the simulator, you can actually play at very well-known courses. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I'm trying to think. There's the one in Scotland, and I just can't.
St. Andrews.
St. Andrews.
Our new edition,
St.
yes.
Andrews. It's here in my notes. St. Andrews. But you can you play at St. Andrews at X Golf in Woodhaven?
All 18 holes,
Right.
how many bunkers are there?
That's
Couple
amazing.
hundred, yeah.
See, that is incredible. Tell us
And
more
it is our
about
most
that.
difficult course by far. We recommend either be a good golfer or book a little bit longer time.
Yeah.
That is a heck of a course to get through. Very long as well. So I think there's almost 270-yard par 3 on there, and a 640-yard par 5. So it's a very, very difficult and challenging course. But here in southeastern Michigan, you might not have the opportunity to go over and play St. Andrews, so you can come into X Golf and play it year round.
You know, that is so incredible to me, just mind-blowing. You can go to X Golf on West Road at Allen in the city of Woodhaven, next to Rep Up Fun, another amazing chamber member, the Johnson family, a big shout out to them. But you can go to X Golf in Woodhaven and you can golf on St. Andrews course in Scotland with these breathtaking, realistic simulators that you have. I just wanted to repeat that because I'm just like totally blown away, and I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else thinks that's impressive. Because I'm totally impressed. It saves you a lot on airfare.
It does, it does. And you know, courses like Pebble Beach or Oakmont are courses that we love to watch on TV or
they're right there.
That may be private are actually open to everyone.
Or you can
so
do
cool.
the Pirate Island, or I think it was,
The
right?
pirate one?
I saw that.
I'm really good at that, yeah. And I'm really sorry about that shot that I did on the ceiling.
It's all good. We got 25-foot ceilings. No one will see that.
Well, one thing I was talking to you earlier is that you can it's a family experience. You bring the kids.
Correct.
And you have putt golf simulators or children versions?
So they can practice putting, but there is
themes,
as
different
you put
themes.
it,
Yeah,
there's a kids course, and it's got treasure and monkeys, and you're in the jungle, and it's really fun because again, you know, if you bring let's say a 7 or 8 year old who's never played golf and you put them on Pebble Beach, they might not have the same experience, right? So you want to make something fun and challenging for them, and I think that's what we do really differently. Is we take the entire spectrum of golf. From really high level training and being able to get fitted all the way to the recreational side of just hey, let's just go have a good time. Who cares what we shoot? Have a couple of drinks, some food, watch some TV, and play golf.
So tell us more. I know you have a bar. Tell us about your food and drink options and
Absolutely.
I think you host parties and private events.
We do, and that's one thing that for me, it's kind of selfishly, I wanted the recreation side more than the business side, which is we can bring golf outings in year round. So obviously you want to get to Lakes of Taylor, you want to get down to Willow and the Metoparks and
we're going to get you to the Metoparks
in the summer. But as you guys did your networking event, we can host up to 50 people indoors any time of the year. And we do have full food, beverage. We have catering as well. So anything that you want, you can pretty much get there.
That's great, and it's perfect that you're located right next to Revved Up Fun because I'm sure it's a great partnership, isn't it, with the Johnson family?
Absolutely. Sometimes the dad will sneak away from a birthday party and hang out and just sit at our bar and watch a little golf, watch the people hit for a while, and go back over.
So it's interesting to say that because that's when we had our networking event. We do a networking event obviously with you guys, and we do one with Revved Up Fun. And for both of those, I'll see like members of our business owners that will sneak outside and go next door and then come back and kind of like take advantage of both of them being next to each other.
Absolutely.
And I remember the Johnson family, they were so excited when you moved in and opened up X Golf.
They're
it's
a phenomenal
huge
partner.
addition to our community. And then I'm just curious, do you have any trainers that maybe would help people with their swing at X Golf?
So absolutely, and that's part of that full spectrum of golf. We do have a PGA pro, Marlon Giese, who gives lessons year round, and really a lot of our golfers have come in and it translates really, really well. They go outside and they go, wow, these things are working, and because of the realistic simulation and the trajectory and being able to work on their shots, we also use V1 sports software. So they've got the muscle memory. They can look at a camera and see themselves and really fine-tune their game over time.
That's amazing. What an experience. It's kind of like the adult version of Chuck E. Cheese, right? It's
very much so.
Yeah, where everybody wants to go. Yeah, and then when they swing, they actually will swing and hit the ball.
Absolutely.
And does it hit a net, or how do you?
So we have high definition screens. So everything's projected. They're 16 feet wide. They're huge. I like to set it to panoramic, so it looks like you're outside, or you can set it to a very narrow focus, so you don't see those trees on both sides.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's we host leagues there as well. So in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So yeah, very realistic.
That's awesome, JP. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
I love X Golf, and so excited you guys are members of the chamber. And it was, I was really excited to have this conversation and learn more about, the secret behind the success there.
Absolutely.
But we're going to get you at the Metoparks. And
yes.
And Jan, I do want to ask you, because one thing that we didn't touch on is the Metoparks, you do host golf outings.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that you do in your position. And so there is an opportunity to, to host a golf outing there, bring in food and beverages. Can you tell us more about that?
We actually, I got several phone calls yesterday. We are so booked for our outings this year, which is awesome.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we do, smaller, obviously 30, 40 people, but we tend to do between 100 and 144 on average, and we're usually booked a lot of Saturdays and Sundays throughout from like May through October.
Yeah.
We do, and we do a lot of our outings in September and October, which when I first started, I would say that the majority of our outings were like June, July, and August. And I think people are just like in the summer fun area of let's start it in the fall. And we do a lot of sport, like, baseball teams, soccer teams, hockey teams. So I think all those people are really busy in the summer, so we host a lot in the fall.
Yeah.
We used to do full service food with our outings pre-pandemic. We did a lot of steak, taco bars, brats and burgers. Since the pandemic, we really have not done any food. We still do lunch at the Turn, obviously,
right?
But we don't do any dinners anymore.
Okay.
We host a lot of outings, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the other thing is, one thing we haven't touched on, and all these things are coming to my mind, that autumn golf is really big. I mean, people love golfing in October, at the end of September.
It's always iffy when you get to like mid-October and you're like, is it going to snow? But we have been very fortunate the last few years that we've had pretty nice fall, and it's I mean the weather has been very cooperative, and we've done a fair amount of outings, and I actually our September is completely booked and our October is pretty booked.
That's amazing.
It is great.
I'm curious what all of you, our panelists, do, or our golf course panelists. Do you guys host 9-hole, like executive level type outings, or like a lot of people they want to get in and get out and they don't have time for the the full 18-hole experience. Do you guys host 9-hole outings as well, or?
Yeah, we only do a few 9-holes. Most of ours are 18. But I think we're having you guys out next month.
We're doing a 9-hole event.
The
so Chamber's coming.
Yeah, we do 9 holes, but only a couple a year. We have a lot of leagues at our course. I think we have 37 leagues at our course during the week.
Oh, that's amazing.
We get a lot of that, but even when we do have outings on the weekends, we have a third 9, so we always have an opportunity for people to play golf too.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll do a few as well. I would say more times than not, it's like a corporate lunch meeting, then add 9 holes after.
Yeah.
But most I'd say most tournaments are 18 holes.
That's good. Yeah. How about you, Jan? As Metoparks?
We've never had a request for one.
Yeah.
All of ours have been 18. I think that we'd be happy to host a 9-hole.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, and as Mike mentioned, we're doing one. It's not a full out outing. It's more of a casual thing. But the Chamber, we're going to be at Riverview Highlands next month, and we have a morning networking event at the Clubhouse.
Correct.
And then we're doing just kind of a casual 9-hole outing for business owners who are at the networking event. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. So, Kathy, what do you say we go through some of the other downriver golf courses and country clubs and so forth? And just like that, it's just Kathy and I. Kathy Kane, my wonderful co-host today. So, Kathy, what do you say we go through a list of some other amazing downriver golf courses and country clubs? And we'll do kind of a rapid fire session and talk about them, and because we have some amazing courses in addition to the ones we've already learned about. So let's begin with Wyandot Shores Golf Course. It's a beautiful course, again, on the river, on the Detroit River. So Wyandot Shores is a 9-hole regulation course and features all the hallmarks of Michigan golf. Another link-style course designed by Matthews and Associates. It's situated along the beautiful Detroit River. This course offers a pro shop and extensive concession area. Pretty exciting.
Oh, I love Wyandot. I'm telling you, that was our pandemic golfing for our golf league. It was fantastic. I just love the last 2 holes. They're right on the water. You could watch the boats go by, wave at them.
Well, and if you're looking for like, a quick 9-hole outing, I mentioned in the podcast earlier about 9-hole outings. It's a perfect location. It's beautiful right on the river.
For sure. Little tight in there. You got to watch the, the
right.
fairways.
It's easy to hit the ball into the water.
It's just beautiful, just beautiful.
So why don't you take on?
Then we got Grozil Golf and Country Club. I mean, that place is fantastic. It was opened in 1920, and then the new golf course merged with the established country club to form Grozil Golf and Country Club that exists today. This is a Donald Ross design that features that are touted as the best greens in the area. Of course, we heard other places had the best greens in the area, with a course that is fair, extremely well maintained, and very challenging. And for sure, but it's always fun to play. I know usually, thank God, they're usually scrambles that I'm in for the tournaments that I've played there, because that is a challenging course.
Yeah, JP, the manager, does a great job there, and the chamber, we host our annual golf outing, and we just had it a couple weeks ago. But Grozil Country Club is truly one of those gems in not just Downriver, but I think all of Michigan. It's a beautiful course.
For sure.
Yep. So next we have the Woodside Meadows golf course on the other end of our Downriver region in Romulus. And Woodside Meadows has been in operation since 1968. It's one of the most popular places downriver to tee it up. This 18-hole golf course, a par 68, is a relatively short undertaking at 5,774 yards from the furthest of 2 tees. The layout features 4 large ponds and 2 small ones, and before teeing off, players can warm up on the driving range. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I know last time I golfed there, had a great fish dinner afterwards. They really have some nice fish there.
Yeah, it seems like one thing about golf courses is that they always have the best food and the best seafood.
For sure. And then there's Southwinds. So that one's in Southgate, and it opened in 1977. And it's gained a reputation of providing a fun and affordable place to play golf, and that's for sure. I know my kids golfed there growing up. Yep. The Southwinds has 14 challenging par 3s that average 160 yards, and the longest hole is 180 yards. The par 4s are all dog legs.
There's that dog legs again.
I learned about that today. That allow the player to gamble, so it's a pretty tough one. The greens at Southwinds are among the best downriver as well, they say.
Well, interesting. Everybody's the best.
Right.
Everybody has the best greens. So now we have Water's Edge, again, another Grozil golf course. It's a 9-hole regulation municipal course that will challenge you while providing a relaxing, picturesque backdrop. Designed by Edward Heineman, the Water's Edge golf course opened in 1965. Test your accuracy with challenging fairways, water hazards, and sand traps.
That is so true. Every Wednesday, you'll see me out there losing about 10 balls on that last hole. The 9th hole is the worst for me. I don't know why.
Seems like you golfed almost all of these.
Not very well, but it's all about the social game, right?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's fun. So West Shore, which is right down the street from Water's Edge, is a 18-hole private course. It's also located on Grozil. We just had our Rotary 601 golf tournament. Well, it's coming up actually in October, so
exciting!
Be there.
Another fall outing.
Yep, and it's relatively flat, but it offers a bunch of challenges. As one would expect from a country club, the course is first-rate condition. The course is par 71 at 6,623 yards from the back tees. And it was designed by George Ferry and opened in 1908. And I'm telling you, in October, I can't wait to play because it's just so beautiful with the trees and everything. It's just beautifully landscaped. It's wonderful course.
Wow, it's amazing. When you think about when some of these courses were open, 1908, I wonder what it was like golfing the course back in 1908.
I'm sure the guys were dressed just like you.
Yes, probably. Yeah, like the Downton Abbey suits and all that. So next we have Links at Gateway, which is another course in the amazing city of Romulus, and it's another Jerry Matthews design course. It's a championship style layout that measures just over 6,842 yards with forgiving bent grass fairways and large greens. So it's forgiving, so that probably a place I would like to go. There are 4 sets of tees on each hole so that players of all skill and experience levels can maximize both the challenge and the enjoyment at Gateway. They want golfers to be challenged, yet give them far greater chances for success than it may first appear. Gateway is an upscale public golf facility with private club conditions. I thought I heard at one time that the Detroit Lions used to have outings or at Gateway.
Oh, very well.
Yeah, I heard that at some point.
The last time I was there was when I worked at the Ramada in the Romulus at the airport. So back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I didn't play it, but I actually ran the beer cart, so that was kind of fun. I was young then.
It's a beautiful course. Yeah.
It is. And then we've got Westburn Golf and Country Club. It's in South Rockwood. It's got a distinguished history of one of the oldest golf courses in the region from 1910.
Wow.
And this beautiful facility first opened in that year, and it spans over 200 acres. This open and forgiving 6,100 yard layout plays as a par 72 and can be appreciated by players of all levels. Surrounded by mature trees and alive with wildlife nestled along the Huron River. Boy, it's so true. I know I've played I think it was a Children with Hair Loss fundraiser there.
Yeah, yep.
And so Westburn Golf and Country Club is a must-play course for anyone who really appreciates the traditions of time.
I've played there. It's a beautiful course, nice little clubhouse that they have there. And, I'm sure glad that they have those mature trees as opposed to the immature trees. But
get the heck out of them, huh?
So we have some amazing courses and you can see why we call it Michigan's Southeast Golf Course after going through that list. There's truly phenomenal courses. Would you agree?
It's quite
Kathy?
amazing. Yeah, how many we have in this little area, really.
Yep.
And there's quite a few to choose from, from beginner level up to the very experienced. So.
Yeah, and that's why we call this area Destination Downriver. It's truly a destination.
All for golfers.
Yep. Kathy, it's been an amazing delight to co-host the podcast with you this month. And I hope you'll be back and maybe even take over at one point.
Oh, yeah, that's what I know you're
doing. You do such a great job.
I hire you, now you're trying to hire me.
But it's been a blast. Thank you, Kathy Kane, my wonderful co-host from Market Insights, and you happen to be the producer and the presenting sponsor of our podcast as well. I also want to thank our other amazing producer, Rich Williams, who does a phenomenal job with getting all this amazing information for us with every podcast. And of course, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, Allegra Print and Marketing, and our friend Greg at Allegra in Wyandot. Be sure to support Allegra and take advantage of all of their amazing marketing offers, because that's where you go for marketing success. And I want to say a big thank you also to our partners here at the City of Taylor's Media Center on Goddard, and they do a phenomenal job with hosting us at the state-of-the-art facility, again, in the City of Taylor. So thank you to our amazing team here. So I want to say thank you to you, our amazing viewers, I can say now officially with the podcast, and also listeners. You make it happen, and we appreciate all your support of the Destination Downriver region. And of course, I have to say the membership at the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber. It's important for me to say that because I'm the president of the chamber. Thank you to our golf expert panel members. And I want to remind you to visit Destination Downriver's website, www.destinationdownriver.com. You can find a lot of great information there, our recent podcast, under the radar Michigan videos that we've done featuring the incredible Destination Downriver region. You can explore trails and waterways and so much more, again, at destinationdownriver.com. And of course, visit Destination Downriver on Facebook, where you can see a lot of the great things happening there as well. So next month's podcast, we'll be discussing delicious dining discoveries in Downriver to talk about some of the cool spots you'll want to sample for outstanding selfie-worthy eating experiences. So again, my name is Ron, and my co-host has been Kathy Kane. And I want to thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next month on the Destination Downriver podcast. Have a great day.